Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another seasonal polish picks for you, this time for winter. It's definitely winter here in the Midwest. It snowed today and a few days ago too, and it's only going to get worse from here. So I figured it's about time to make this video. I really like doing this style of video because it's really fun to kind of go through my gigantic collection and curate just a smaller mini collection and kind of theme it around something. So seasons are a pretty easy theme, as we've seen in most major nail polish companies. That's kind of how they theme their collections. So it's fun to make my own and then see what the other brands are coming out with and compare and contrast. You know, what does my collection, what does my idea of a holiday collection look like in comparison to like China Glaze or Zoya or Orly or whatever. And so that was kind of the mindset I went into this with this time, and I really enjoyed it a lot. I have 8 full coverage polishes and 1 topper this time. I don't have a lot of, I guess, winter or holiday type toppers. Most of mine are just really thick glitters and things like that, so I didn't have too much to choose from with that. But anyways, let's get right into the swatches. I'll kind of justify why I picked each individual polish as far as holiday or winter goes, and then at the end I'll tell you my thoughts. So up first we have Fat Santa by China Glaze. I picked this color because this red, it's this like bright kind of candy apple looking red, but it reminds me of a mall Santa, which, I mean, right in the name you got Santa, so it's kind of cheating, but it really does remind me of those like really gross feeling outfits that the mall Santas wear. When you're a kid, you sit on them and it's that gross crushed velvet. And as you can see, I do struggle with the first few swatches in this video. Please, you know, be nice to me. I'm still trying to figure out the right angle for where I place my camera versus, you know, how I paint my nail. And I don't have a viewfinder because I do film on my phone, so it makes it a little bit harder. I'm trying to figure out what to do there. But as you can see here on the second coat, you can still see my nail line. This is a more jelly-like finish. So I do go in with the third coat right here, just so you can see that it does kind of give you that fuller coverage with the third coat. But I would wear this in just 2 coats because if you watched my other videos and you've heard me say, I do love a more jelly-ish finish. But you can barely see my nail line through this in the swatch photo, so it does get full coverage. Next is Jolly Holly, and this is by China Glaze as well. This is kind of a like Christmas tree green, and it's a fun kind of metallic-y finish here. I think this might actually be from the same collection as the last one. I bought somebody else's collection to kind of cannibalize into my own, and these 2 polishes were in her collection. But as you can see from that first coat, we do get some pretty decent coverage. I feel like with metallics, if you have a metallic that takes more than 2 coats to cover your nail, it's not a good metallic. I've never seen that in one. And the really nice thing about this one is some of them can get really brush strokey, but I didn't see, like, they leveled out as they dried so perfectly. Next is something that I'm going to gush about 9,000 times. This is Zoya's Eunice. This is in the newest holiday collection that they just released. And when I first saw this, I was like, this is gross. This is ugly. Get this out of here. This is not a Christmas color. What are you doing? This is a spring color. But the more I watched people swatch this and the more I looked at it in hatred on the Zoya website, it kind of came around. And so when they had like an early Black Friday thing going on where it was $3 per bottle and they were, I think, a cap at $6. I ended up picking it up because I was like, well, $3 isn't a loss, right? And the second I swatched it, I was like, oh my God, I was so wrong. I take back everything I said. I'm so sorry, Zoya, because this is just like the coolest color. It just major Grinch vibes. It's like the perfect Christmas color. I feel so wrong. I can't believe I was so wrong. Up next is Frostlight by Holo Taco. Now this was from her collection last year. I think she called it like the Holiday collection. And it was just a bunch of, you know, hollow glitters. This is that kind of icy light blue. Super sheer on that first coat. But you can build these up, and like with the Holo, it really distracts from the nail line because her polishes are just kind of jam-packed with those components, so you really aren't missing out there. I really like an icy blue. It just reminds me of like a cartoon icicle. I don't know. And you know, like that early morning when the sun hasn't quite risen and there's a ton of snow on the ground. And so the snow kind of has that like lighter blue look to it. And it just makes me think like the crunch of snow under your boots. And so I really like this polish for just like the entirety of winter. It's really pretty here. Lots of Holo. Next up is Color Club's Wild at Heart. This is a purple polish that I kind of gear towards this type of purple every holiday season because it reminds me of the Advent candles I used to light as a kid at church. But this polish here is just about a one coater. It is a one coater, but I have like feelings about only using one coat of nail polish on my nails. It just doesn't feel like enough. It feels like it doesn't like level out. So I always go in with that second coat, and I feel like I think these are like holographic little like specks in there, and I think that it really, you know, deepens that up and gives you a lot more vibrancy in those like Holo pieces, and it looks just really pretty. I love this purple. Up next is Julip's Beatrice. I feel like nobody really talks about Julep anymore, which is unfortunate because I really liked a lot of their finishes. But ever since their Julep Maven program kind of got discontinued, I just didn't see people talking about Julep so much anymore. But anyways, this is kind of sheer on the first coat. I think I ended up doing 3 coats with this one, but it's just a pretty little rose gold. I feel like rose gold is great for the like winter holidays. It's not too, it's kind of like in between gold and silver in my opinion. I don't know, it's like a very pinky gold, so I really like this one. The bottles are a little bit strange for Juleps. They're really tall and skinny. They also don't have a ton of polish in them. I think they're actually the size of a nail polish mini in what they contain, so they are a little bit expensive for what you get, but really pretty. Next is Holo Taco's gift receipt. This is from her newest collection, the, Frosted Metals. I think this is a perfect like New Year's Eve polish. It reminds me of the ball dropping in New York. And it's a really, after that first coat, you know, you kind of lay your base, and then with that second coat, it really just thickens up. You have so many like flaky silver bits on your nails that they really get opaque fast. See right here, you can't see my nail line at all now, which is crazy because that first coat looked so thin. I feel like this almost looks like you wrapped tinfoil on your nails. That's how vibrant and pretty it is. Reminds me of a tinfoil hat actually. Up next is Smith & Colt's Dirty Baby, which I definitely bought just for the name. This is just a black jelly base with really sparkly glitters inside of it. And I feel like this is just a really good dark color for any kind of like holiday party that you're definitely not going to this year. Could also be good for New Year's as well. It's super sheer on that first coat, as you can see. It just kind of looks like you dipped your fingers in mud, but it starts to deepen up with the second, and I did a third coat as well just to really get that full opaqueness. I think that, you know, you need a good black, especially in the like fall and winter seasons, so I think that this would fit into any kind of holiday type collection here. And then here we go with the third coat, and you can see that visible nail line is totally gone now, even on my longer nails, which kind of hard to do with a jelly polish. And you can see the swatch, you can see all those like silver glitters peeking through. It's really pretty. Next is Zoeys Dallas. This is the topper that I chose. I bought this on a whim, which is usually how I buy Zoyas, on a whim. And I guess it wasn't really what I expected it to be. And putting it over this China Glaze polish, it just looks so much better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't realize it looks like there's like gold, white, and silver glitters of varying sizes in here. And it just kind of reminds me of Snowfall, really. And so I feel like it's perfect over this green polish because it just reminds me of, you know, snow on a tree on Christmas morning. It's really cute. So those were my picks. What did you guys think? I think that for the most part, I picked a very like classic, very staple type of collection here. It's hard for me to break out of that because in the Midwest, people go like hard traditionalist for Christmas. So it's hard to really see Christmas in any other kind of light. I did find the Jollywood China Glaze collection intriguing in that they kind of based it off of something that's not the traditional looking Christmas that you see on like, you know, Christmas movies and things like that. So I really like that collection, but it's really hard for me to think about Christmas in that way, especially when you're just surrounded and inundated in these like red Santa, green tree, you know, silver tinsel. So that's probably why my collection looks a little bit more basic, except for this one like standout color here, Zoya's Eunice. Like I said in my swatches, like this is the ultimate Grinch color for me. Like it, when I first saw this, when they first released this collection, I was like, what the heck are they doing? Like that's gross. That's like a spring color that doesn't make any sense. And then I started watching people swatch the collection and I kept opening the website and being like, what, why, what is this? And then finally I bought it because I think I bought this in their, they did like an early Black Friday thing where polishes were $3 a piece. And I was like, well, $3 isn't that bad. Let me get that hideous thing so that I can get over it. And I ended up loving it. It looks like the Grinch. I can't handle it. It's the most like out of left field color in a collection, yet it fits so perfectly. So I'm excited about this one. I mean, obviously I love them all. They're in my collection. I have them. But this is like just the most recent addition to my collection where I'm just like, what a weird yet intriguing kind of fun color. So I'm excited about that. But anyways, that was my kind of curated collection there. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know what you are going to have on your nails this Christmas or Hanukkah or just holiday season. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.